All right, welcome to the All Access Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Joseph Bruen, and we are here this week with another very special guest, none other than the Bougettoist, baddie, Hollyhood Haley J, here in the house at the All Access Entertainment Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you being here and taking the time and take a little deep dive into your career and all the accomplishments so far. You've done so much. You've been a part of so much, and let's talk about it. So, rewinding to the beginning, growing up as a kid, when did you first discover pro wrestling, and who were some of your favorites?
Well, my brother and mom watched it when I was a baby, so I feel like I've watched it for as long as I can remember. Back then, I wasn't like too interested. Like as a kid, I wasn't. But Jeff Hardy's always been the favorite. Jeff Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, boom, always caught my attention and made me watch, even though I wasn't a wrestling fan allegedly, right? And then, boom, we got older. I got more into it. But then mom took us to our first indie show, which I didn't know was a thing. And then from there, I was like, oh, that's when it clicked that I could actually be a wrestler. Like it's not just straight to WWE. There's other paths. So I was like, oh, okay. So that told her to wrestle, and she said, paved the way for me. And I set myself up for success, I like to say, when I was like 10 years old. So.
And let's talk about that. I mean, you are a second generation superstar. You know, the amazing Maria, your mother, of course. You know, being a second generation superstar, how does that feel? You know, being in the business and knowing that your mom has done it before you.
I mean, it's great because she, like I said, paved the way before me. So it wasn't like, oh, what am I going to do? What is this? I literally got to see her struggle, be successful all within me, like growing up. So I was like, oh, okay, this will happen. This will happen. Like I knew what I was getting myself into. So it's probably like the smartest thing that I've done in life this far.
Right. Well, you've got so much accomplishments. You know, the list is endless, but we'll talk about a little bit of it here today. You know, once you got your foot in the door, the IWA, specifically IWA Mid-South Memories. What do you got there for memories?
Oh, man. IWA was like the craziest part of my wrestling career. I learned not to, mess up. I don't know if this is PG. Is this PG show? How can
No, you're good.
Probably should have asked that question first. But yeah, I basically learned, not to fuck up. Like I learned about respect and, like really what it meant when people say like earning their way into the business. I learned all of that at IWA Mid-South. So yeah, I have a lot of crazy like fight memories. I feel like there was a fight every Tuesday or Thursday night, whichever day it was. It was always something. So I was like, oh, okay, don't mess up. Like,
Right.
I had that fear in me, which I feel like you kind of need. You need that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any memories specifically working with Malaya Hosaka while you were there?
Oh my God, yeah. She, first of all, made me get new tights, new pantyhose because she didn't like that mine had all these holes in them. And I'm like, the Bougetto is baddie. I'm ghetto and bougie. That's the point. Like, she's like, no, put some new pantyhose on. So she had some new pantyhose. She's like the mom of the locker room, right? And I believe she was maybe my second match. And we went a good amount of time and I knew how to do nothing. Okay. And I just kept doing a lot of forearms, but she enjoyed it because I listened and I was scared of her. And I think my favorite memory of Malaya was one time we had a match and I was like, so it was a tag match. So she was on the outside on the apron and I was like circling around with somebody, whoever it was. And then all of a sudden, I get yanked back and I'm like, looking at her and she's like, don't ever turn your back on me. And I'm like, oh, so she learned a lesson right there too. All right, girl. So yeah, I love Malaya. Shout out to her. She's old school and I love it.
And somebody you've worked with both, as a team and as opposing opponents there, Alice Crowley. Any memories of Alice?
Yeah, I'm still, good friends with Alice to this day. I took the JCW title off of her. Alice, my favorite IWA memory with Alice was when I won my first ever pro wrestling title, which was the IWA women's championship. And they didn't tell me I was winning. Okay. So like it was a tables match and there were supposed to be 3 tables for our finish or whatever. And we only had 2. And our ref, RIP the gang, Sean P, came and told us like, oh, there's only 2 tables. And Alice is like looking like, it's fine, we'll just do this and this. So I'm like, oh my God. Okay. And I didn't even think about it, but I trusted her. And then boom, it hit 3. And I was like in shock. I was like, oh my God, why the fuck, why'd you do that? And she was like, congratulations. And I was like, oh, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, they're going to beat me up. I'm about to go downstairs and Ian Rotten's going to come down there and whoop my ass. I just took the title, right? No, everybody was clapping and everything. And she laughed. It was funny, but yeah, I'll never forget that. I was so mad. I'm like, why would you do that? You set me up.
What would you say is the greatest challenge being in the wrestling industry?
Maybe learning when to speak up and not speak up. That's my biggest challenge, anyways, because wrestling is very political and, you know, I have big opinions. And I have to learn when to speak up and not speak up. And Booker T gave me a great rule in life that I try to follow, which is we call it the 99 rule. And 99% of the time, or if you feel 99% on it, then shut the fuck up. But if you feel 100% on it, then speak on it 100% of the time, every time, and be prepared to lose your job. So I said, okay. So I try to think about it like that now. That's my biggest challenge.
Some great advice from Booker T. And let's talk about Booker T. Obviously, the reality of wrestling, you were a big part of that for a little while there. Why don't you tell us about
Still
your
going.
experiences there?
I'm still there. Booker T's great. He is making me think outside the box from what I'm used to. Al Snow teaches, big character and personality base. And I come to Booker's and he wants me to wrestle more because I'm too comfortable with the personality and character. I lean on that too much. So he's like, no, we want to see you wrestle. We want to show them that you could do it all. You're undeniable, right? So that's pretty much the biggest difference for me. But I hear him like telling people, this little bang's gonna piss me off. I hear him telling people, like preaching the same things that I'll be preaching, but not for me. He wants to see something different out of me. So that's still TV style is how we're taught there. I just do more wrestling.
Yeah. And what would you say is your best piece of advice from Al Snow that you've received?
Um, Al's giving me a lot of advice. The best piece would be Hmm. Maybe, oh, it's not a good advice right now because I look crazy, but just dress for the job you want, not the job you got. So I used to go to TV looking like a crackhead, and he'd be like, you're a brand, you're selling yourself, people see you, even like outside of wrestling, when you go out and everything, just look professional because you never know who's watching or who's going to pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best that I'm going to
Yeah.
go with.
You're getting great advice from Al Snow, from Booker T. You got people looking out for you.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that it's not going to be success to even a higher level in your future with people looking after you like that and the work that you're putting in, obviously. So, first and foremost, want to thank you for all of that you've done for the business and everything you've put in so far.
Thanks. Stop it.
Let's talk about OVW. OVW TV. We can't talk about it having you here and not talk about it, I should say. So the Netflix series Wrestlers, obviously that was a huge success. And initially, maybe it was supposed to kind of feature, all different people and kind of showcase that. But really, it was the Hollyhood Haley J show. And that's what it was all about. You were the star of the show.
That's what they say.
Let us in on that whole experience. What was that like for you?
Well, I mean, they tricked me. I think they tricked everyone. They did a great job of like making it seem like everyone was going to be a feature. They had so much footage of everything. So when it initially came out, I was like, oh, wow, 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 like this all, I'm in here a lot. Yay. But then the energy from everyone was not great, because they're, I don't want to say jealous, but, oh, it's the Haley J show. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, which was detrimental to my career because at that point I was like, oh, I need to be more giving, and show them that I'm not big headed, I'm humble, I can work with anyone, make them look great, do whatever. And then I just like plateaued in my career because I was too nice, you know? And now I have to do something drastic to be relevant again. The Netflix thing happened like 2 years ago. And then, yeah, I went to Booker's and I'm doing well, like getting better as a professional wrestler. But as far as like building my brand or getting signed somewhere, I felt very stagnant. That's where my power slap thing came into play, or pow, because I just feel like I needed to do something, whoa, to get people to watch again.
Now, how'd you get involved in that? The power slap.
Sim Bodie hit me up and was just like, "Would you like to make 5 to 10K, $1,000 outside of wrestling?" And I was like, "Sure. What is it?" And then he said power slap, and I'm like, "Is it a shoot?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Heck it, why not? Let's get into it." Yeah, I originally wasn't going to do it just because Booker didn't like the idea. I didn't know if it would be bad for my career if I was to get knocked out because power slap, anything can happen. It's legit, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, I don't know if that would be a good look in wrestling. Then I don't know. I was just like, fuck it. I felt great about it. So I took the risk and it paid off for me the first round. And then I got a little too confident and then got shut down the second round. But I also learned that if I got knocked out, it is not detrimental to my career. Nobody cares. Like this is a real sport and half the people in wrestling wouldn't even step up to do it. So
Right.
yeah.
That's just another notch on your belt of successful things you've been a part of, for sure.
It's crazy. It's a wild one. It's a wild.
Now, going into that, the thought process, you're unsure of how it's going to pan out, how it's going to work out, but then coming out, what was the thought process going in and then coming out of that? Was it all that you thought it was going to be? Was it more than you thought it was going to be, as far as the
Like
physicality and just you know,
after my match or the power slap match.
the power slap? Like, was it as intense as you thought it was going to be? Was it more intense than you thought it would be?
Well, I would speaking still after both of them, being knocked out and winning, I feel like wrestling is way harder. You know what I'm saying? Like there's way more that comes with wrestling. We could paralyze ourselves, we could break our necks, like knees, elbows. There's only a few things that could really go wrong in power slap, which is being knocked out or breaking like a nose orbital bone, something. Um, but even with that, power slap pays for all medical and everything. Wrestling does not. So it was just like I sat there and I was like weighing out everything, you know. But even now I still have I think after my knockout, it was like a reality check for me. It definitely woke me up to as if this isn't just a slap. Like this is more, there's more to it than just being like, okay, slap me in the face. Because we have buttons and we have all these things. And then we have these pro legit athletes coming down from, or like, yeah, cutting down from like 150 all the way down to my weight, 125, which is what I sit at. So I didn't realize, you know, what I was really getting myself into, right? So that's why I'm like happy, not happy, but I'm blessed to have been knocked out and humbled because it like opened up my eyes instead of me just being like, oh, it's a slap. It's fine. I get beat up in wrestling all the time. I get slammed on my head. I've been knocked out several times in wrestling. So like, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what this brings because now I'm, you know, motivated to work out more for that, which is going to help me in wrestling anyway. So
Sure. And you said
I'm
you've been
excited.
knocked out in wrestling. Have you had any injuries so far, or have you kind of avoided the injuries so far?
Yeah, my knee. Had some knee injuries, no surgeries or anything like that. I'm a true pro wrestler and I'm going to go until I can't go anymore. And they will make me, you will have to make me have like a surgery or whatever. But yeah, I messed up my knee. Excuse me. I cuss like a sailor. I hyperextended my elbow not too long ago in October. It's still messed up.
Hmm.
That was actually scary because I had never, you know, you hear people always ask, did you hear a pop or something when they tear up their knee or
Yeah.
something? I had never experienced that. Even with my knee injury, I didn't experience that. It was like crushed, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it went, and I was like, and instantly on camera, way to work the hard cam, Haley. I'm like, oh my God, my elbow, I think I broke it. But I continued the match and everything was fine. So I knew it wasn't broken, but it was definitely messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing too major. Nothing major. My mom, did you ask her that? Have you interviewed her yet?
Not yet. No.
Yeah.
Would love
Yeah.
to eventually. How long was your mom active in ring?
She's still going.
Still going. Oh, wow. That's tremendous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. I didn't even know that. All right. So another person you've worked with multiple times, Casey Lennox. Any memories of working with her?
Casey Lennox. Yeah. Do we got something funny, Casey? I love a good funny story. I guess not really anything too interesting. I know that Casey was easy. She was good to work with. Easy, fun opponent. She had a little sass, which I like that. You know, she's from Baltimore. That's what she had to let it be known. And I was like, girl, I'm from Kentucky. I don't give a fuck. You know? But yeah, that's it about Casey Lennox. She's cool peoples. I'll beat you up anytime, Casey.
Any memories of wrestling right there in your hometown over the years?
I wrestled here every Thursday. I have plenty of memories. What are we going for here?
Well,
What are
just
we
like,
going for?
memories that stand out, whether it be fan interactions or,
Oh,
maybe
my
some.
retirement match was pretty memorable from leaving OVW, me going to Row. All my little girls were crying, and even I cried. I'm not even a crier. I was crying in the ring. It was so sad. I'll still go back and watch my little video on YouTube from my departure, and it gets me. That was good. I have some. I got hella funny memories. Me, Sierra. I just know her by Sierra. She's from
Sierra, yeah.
Wisconsin. Yeah, Sierra.
Yep.
She poor girl, my soccer rocks. I done cracked everybody with that soccer rocks, but I remember one time she was like, it was after the match and I was sneaking her. So she was like up on the buckle, getting her little pose in, and I came and snuck her. And instead of it hitting her in like the back of the head, it wrapped around and smacked her in the nose.
Oh man,
And I was like, oh man. She had a black eye and everything. And I was like, oh yeah. Sorry about
that's
that.
terrible.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about more about the reality of wrestling, the atmosphere, in their facility, what it's like, your first time there, and then of course you've been there many times. So as it's gone on, what the crowd's like there, what the feels like.
So, well, the crowd loves Haley J wherever I go. But the atmosphere, as far as in the locker room and everything, it's very serious. Everyone there is like, they take it serious and they're all willing to help each other. That's the thing about Bro that I really like. Everyone's watching everyone's matches. They're not there just blah 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 blah. Like they're there to help you. Um and Booker being there, obviously that's great. I would say intimidating for, some newer folks who maybe are not used to like TV type
Sure.
style or whatever. Um, but it's a vibe, bro. We go on show days. They like turn all the lights off in the back in the locker room, and we all just sit there and watch on the big screen, And we got Book over here yelling in Gorilla, so it's always funny to hear him and his reactions, to
Right.
watching. And then even after that, he has his meetings and he takes notes and remembers, everything. It's not just some BS meeting for everybody. Oh, great job tonight, everybody. See you next week. He sits
Yeah.
and he'll go through the matches and tell people how he feels about that right then and there. And then, end it on a high note, get everybody paid and out of there. So I
Takes us.
like Book. And he don't sugarcoat shit. I love Book. He's quick to just, he don't care. It's his school and
Right.
he don't take no shit. And if you don't do things his way, you can get out.
Any
Mhm.
advice or interactions with ODB? You were involved in the 3-on-3 at the Blizzard Brawl back in 2021.
Yes. ODB. Man, memories. Um, Well, I remember getting my ass whooped by her in the ring. I remember this. Is what I remember from ODB. We got in there. I thought I was gonna be tough, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go." But then she started chopping me, and I like ran out of the ring, thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna get away from this chop." And she followed me and continued to chop me. And after the match, I was already sick. I had no voice. I had chops all over my chest, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, she not playing no games. Like she's legit." So that's what I remember about her. Same with Serena. I got to do some stuff with Serena at AEW,
Yep.
and I was like, man, she's legit. Like she will tie you up in a knot, no questions or answers, nothing for you. Just bloop 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 bloop, and then you'll be like, oh, all right. So they are legit. Both of those ladies, shout out to them, legit.
And speaking of AEW, you also worked Ruby Soho there as well. Any memories of that?
She was cool. It was cool because Ruby's like a longtime friend of my mom. Number one. So I remember her from when I was a kid, even being at OVW, her being at OVW. So that was cool for me to be. That was my first AEW thing. And I remember sitting in the ring and her music coming out and like everybody bopping to it and everything. And I was like, that was like my realization, like, dang, this is what it's like to be a real superstar. And I was really just like watching and studying how she didn't just come straight to the ring and like, get in action. She was really soaking up her, the energy and
Yeah.
like throwing it back at them. And yeah, I feel like I learned a lot just from that being my first time on like the big stage, and it was cool that it was her because that's, like I said, one of my mom's OG friends from forever. So
And I've heard great things about AEW. So, what is that atmosphere like backstage as opposed to an OVW or a JCW? What's AEW like for you?
well, obviously I'm not signed talent, so it's a little different for me than it would be signed talent because they have us in our own little section, and we're
Oh,
to
okay.
stay there or do jobs like they need. Me, I got a little bit more free reign. I don't think necessarily because they gave it to me, but I might have took it. I just knew everybody there anyway, so of course I had friends here, and they were very, oh, come here, come da 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 da. So, um, it's good. AEW has great catering. I have to throw that out there because I loved AEW's chicken tortilla soup. I know it sounds crazy, but that was my favorite thing in their catering section. The locker room though, I guess it would also intimidating because now it's a lot more moving parts. You almost feel like, oh snap, don't be in the way. Like don't, you don't want to bother anybody because everyone's moving 1,500 million different things. And then they got their boards, the matchups, like everything is just like more, you know, organized, but not organized because anywhere in wrestling, hate to break it to you guys, is not organized
Right.
company. It's massive freaking chaos. Every locker room that I've been in, not even necessarily with the people, just like with the show and everything.
Sure. There's a lot going on, a lot to do, lots to put on.
Exactly. A lot of moving parts, yes.
Yep.
So, but I always had good experiences in the locker room at AEW. I had fun. It was great. It was always a great time. One time in Memphis, I'll never forget this. I was sent out to do like seat filling, and they were ushering me out to my seat, and the crowd like noticed me, and they were like started chanting for me, and the lady like turned me around and ushered me right to the back, and she was like, "No, no, this can't happen." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she was like, "You're fine," and just walks away and leaves me in the back, and I was like, "Wow, I think that was a good thing." Like,
Awkward. Wow. Must have been a
yeah,
good feeling though.
yeah. I was like, well, I guess I'm, a little too known to do that, which is good. It's good.
Right. And that's where you should be in the ring. They shouldn't be putting you in the audience. You know what I mean?
Pay your dues, kids.
Yeah.
I
So teaming with Miranda Gordy, you guys teamed up
love
before. What was that
Miranda.
like? Let's
I
talk.
love
Let's talk
Miranda.
about it.
She's great, man. She's freaking old school. She does not care about what people think about her. And she's like a literally a miniature of her dad. It's kind of scary. You don't
Yeah.
want to see Miranda mad. But we've been in situations like a show in bumfuck Tennessee somewhere that I'm sure you probably couldn't even find now. But we had a tag match and the girl showed up late. So it was like we didn't get to call anything. And then we get in the ring and she had picked me up for a suplex, and what she said was that she was picking me up and like she wanted to put me back down and like work it. But that's not what she did. She like picked me up and all I seen was the mat like face down. And I'm like, what? So I like choked her up real quick. And then she's like, oh, like shoot, or work with me, work with me. So I started working with her. But then I tagged Miranda and Miranda started laying it to her. And she was like, is
Yeah.
she shooting on you? And I was like, she's got my back. Like I like
Yep.
Miranda, bro.
Looking out
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, she's dope.
And another second generation superstar, Teal Piper.
Teal was
Worked.
cool. I had one match with Teal out in New York. It was also a tag match with Hermie Ann and Caden. Um, that was fun. She Teal's really nice. I don't have nothing to say about her either. She was in the locker room. You would expect her to be this big personality like her dad, but
Yeah.
she's super sweet girl. Super sweet.
And you've worked for CCW, RPW, WOW, NCW, PWG. Now, what about JCW? Your latest venture. You're there. You're the new women's champion. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the victory. Talk about that match and that experience when you won that belt.
Well, the full circle moments. We love wrestling. I won it from Big Al in the same freaking venue and ring that I won my first ever title in, right? In Jeffersonville, Indiana. So that was cool. It was like full circle moment. And then as far as JCW, man, JCW is fun. It's literally like, you know, the party show. I can go be me. I can be crazy. I can flip people off. I can twerk as much as I want. I can curse. I can go be crazy, a juggalo, an outcast, and everyone loves it. So I love it.
And what's
I
it
get
like
too
working with
comfortable though.
Russo?
I do, huh?
Oh, I was just saying, what was it like working with Russo so far?
Russo's cool. He's easy to work with for me. Everyone asks me this, and I'm just like, it is the Vince Russo show. That's what we always say. I still work for him, so I can't say anything too crazy right now. Ask me again in like a year or something, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's a guy that's done it for a lot of different promotions now and on a high level,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
obviously,
I mean, so far he's been great with me. I don't uh I was trying to think like if I had any segments with him like on the TV or anything. I don't
yeah,
think so, but he always comes and like directs our stuff. Do you know what you're doing? Okay, well, if I trust you, let's see it. And so far I believe I've made him happy with what he's writing.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. So chiming in your inner fan, looking at Mount Rushmore, there's different ways you could look at it, personal favorites or, who the biggest stars were, but in your any way you want to look at it, who is your Mount Rushmore for both men and then on the women's side?
Oof. Okay. I'm gonna go with my favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At number one, we got Jeff Hardy. His face is the biggest. I love Jeff Hardy. Number two, we got Eddie Guerrero in there, just a little smaller because we love him just as much almost. And then we got The Undertaker and we got Shawn Michaels. That's
It's a good one.
my boom for the boys. For the women, Mickey James, Lita, um, me. Nah, just kidding. Mickey James, Lita. Who else? Who else would I give? Charlotte Flair. I'm a big Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan. We'll go newer. I think all those deserve a spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Now, Jeff Hardy, you're such a big fan. Have you
all
had
right,
the
guys,
chance to meet him over the years?
all the time. And I've had shows on him with him. I've been on shows with him. I just can't act normal. He's probably the only person that I like get starstruck over and can't even speak normal to. All right.
Right.
Yeah,
Just one
the
of those
only
people. Yeah.
person. Yes, I love Jeff Hardy. And he's such a nice guy. I could go sit and speak to him and ask him questions or whatever, and he would
Mm.
sit and talk, but I just can't. I cannot do it. So I just stare at
Right.
him like a creeper in the back.
Another promotion you worked for, NWA Power
Yep.
2025, just last year,
hmm
Serena Vale. What was your
hmm
experience like there?
I love going to NWA. It's fun. We're still in negotiations. I'm still doing work with them. I'll be back this year. And yeah, Serena was a good opponent too. She's younger in the business, but she looks freaking great and she does great in the ring. So I enjoyed that. Look forward to beating her up some more. Yeah, NWA is great. Shout out to Billy Corgan and Kenzie Page because I want to whoop her ass.
Let's talk about the character itself, Hollyhood Haley J. Let's
Okay.
talk about the look, how you came up with the look, the entrance music. Give us the whole nine. What is Hollyhood Haley J all about?
Well, Hollyhood Haley J is a crazy bougettoist bad A, which is half bougie, half ghetto. So, like, of course, I'm want to be a sophisticated young lady. Okay, I'm trying to grow into that, but I'm from the streets, and I already have these little habits that I do, which is do anything to win, maybe cheat a little, maybe talk a lot of shit, antagonize some people, instigate a little bit. That's Hollywood Haley J. That's her. Me, Haley J, a little different. Okay, I've grown up a lot, right? But as far as like my name, I got the actual Hollywood name because I wanted to be Hollywood Haley J because that's what everyone called me in high school. That was my nickname in the streets was Hollywood. But whenever I started wrestling, I had my first match, or no, maybe it wasn't a match. I might have just been in the Rumble or something,
Yep.
and they announced me as Hollywood Haley J And then after we had a meeting, and Ian Rotten was like, "You're not like Hollywood enough. Like after seeing you come out and do your jazz, you're not Hollywood. It doesn't match you." And then Timmy Lou, shout out to him, was in the back. He was like, "You should be Hollywood." And I was like, "Okay." So yeah, that's where I got the name. And then my intro, my ex wrote that for me for my birthday present. And yeah, I really like him, but the music goes hard. If there's anybody else out there who wants to make me a new intro, I'll
Right.
be here waiting.
Now let's also
Yeah.
talk about convention scene. You've been to a bunch of conventions over the
I love
years
doing
and meeting the
conventions.
fans. What's it
They're
like
like
meeting the
family
fans?
reunions.
Yes, exactly. And what
Mhm.
has it been for you so far? Like different ones, any stand out more than the other? Have you had a favorite convention?
WrestleCade is always fun, huge situation. Anything at like the collective when we do like around Mania time when they have all that, those are always crazy. Um, yeah, I love it. It's literally like a big family reunion. We get to see all the OGs, you know what I'm saying, and then now new people, and it's always a good time. Always.
PWA, you've worked Amber Nova last year, 2025. What was it like working with Amber?
Yes, I worked with Amber. I took a title from Amber. She took it back. I took it back. We just went back and forth a couple times. um, she was great. A little annoying. Yeah, no, she's a sweetheart too. But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
Easy peasy,
Now, if you could pick
easy
one moment, it
peasy.
might be difficult. Just one moment, number one moment in your career thus far. Anything that stands out. If you had to pick that one moment,
Hmm.
could be inside of the ring, outside of the ring.
Any moment that stands out, like
Yeah.
rather like accomplishments for me,
Yeah,
or just
just your
moments.
absolute favorite moment that you've been, a part of personally in the wrestling business.
Um, maybe Mickey James empowered. I think that was like a cool movement for women in general. So that sticks out to me, being able to be a part of that. And then also just realizing that Mickey like believes in me and I had her as a mentor. Um yeah. And then not really a moment, but I know I'll appreciate this when I'm older. Anything that I've got to do with my mom. Just the simple fact that it's my mom, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes I've taken my anger out on her that I've been holding in for years. Just take it all out in those matches. So those are always fun, right? Yeah. Those are like my top two things. I know I've
Awesome.
done a lot, I feel like, but it doesn't really feel like that. Like to me, especially when these things that I've accomplished and weren't necessarily like on my goals list,
Sure.
I just so happened to be doing okay in my wrestling career. But the goal has always been to like get signed to WWE. So when people are like, "Oh, bringing up stuff that I've done in my career," I'm just always like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, oh man, I didn't even really think about it like that. That is pretty cool, huh?" Because I'm constantly like, "I need more. I need to go do this. I need this. I need this." But
You're looking at the big picture. So that is your ultimate goal to be in the WWE?
of
Yeah.
course, I technically live off wrestling now, which is a lot of people's dreams, right? To just want
Right.
to be able to wrestle for a living, but it's not all it's cracked up to be unless you're making big money doing so, right?
Sure. Right.
So I don't know.
Everything.
Yeah, WWE. I'll even take AEW now. The ultimate goal will always be WWE.
Yeah.
I would love to go to AEW just to get the reps in that environment, like the big stage reps, because I'm getting TV reps everywhere else. OVW is the only other quote unquote indie promotion that, if you consider indies, that does live TV. Even Booker T's is like taped, you know what I mean? We do
Sure.
live TV. You can't mess up. So I already have experience there. I want to do it on the big stage in front of a big crowd. So that way I can show my worth and my value. So then WWE will be like, all right, clock it. So
Yeah.
I'll take either or, but WWE is the main goal. That's where the history is, man.
Yeah.
What?
Oh no, absolutely. I agree. Don't take your eye off the prize. I mean, you're doing the right thing, but at the same time, along the
Yeah,
way, try to
enjoy.
give yourself some time. Smell the
Yeah.
roses. A
Which
lot
is
of
great
people.
advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you want to enjoy it because yeah, it's great to look at after the fact and look back on your career, but while you're experiencing it, these are considered for a lot of people like the good days. You know what I mean? The good old
Hmm.
days. So,
Hmm.
a lot of people would kill just to do something in OVW or maybe just something on NWA Power, and look at all that you've experienced, and obviously reality of wrestling and JCW and the Netflix
Hmm.
series and Power Slap. I mean, you've been a part of so many big things, and yeah, just smell the roses every once in a while because you definitely
Appreciate
deserve to
that.
do that.
I appreciate that. That's good advice. That's good advice.
Yeah,
Because that's why you can get burnt out so easily if you're just focusing on all this. You don't take a second to realize like you have done well.
right.
So that's
Right.
why this podcast is cool. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's my pleasure. And looking on to how the fans can follow you. First of all, website or social media. Let's hear it all.
All social media platforms, X, Instagram, Facebook. I think that's it. At Hollyhood Haley J. Oh, TikTok, all of them. Hollyhood Haley J. It's all smashed together. That's it on that.
And
And
then
then my
also,
YouTube, I'm gonna start doing my own like season 2 of Wrestlers, but my version, obviously, because I'm gone from OVW now. So it'd be like my past year, kind of catching everybody up on what I've been doing at Row. So that will be coming out soon. They can look forward to that. So follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes.
nice.
What is it? The Real Hollywood Haley J. That's
The
my
real
YouTube.
Hollywood Haley J. Okay.
The real, because the other one was already taken, probably by a 5-year-old me who thought I was a superstar. Who knows? But
And,
yes,
and now also
yes.
looking at your career, obviously JCW champion right now. What is next for Hollywood Haley J?
I think I want to go dibble dabble in some UFC like MMA stuff. I think I got all the resources to do that now. So, not leaving wrestling per se, but I want to go to Vegas and do some extra training.
Now, do you
And
think
then,
Power
yeah, turn
Slap
out.
kind of set you up for that mentally?
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
yeah,
For sure. For
yeah,
sure. Even just the people around. A lot of the power slappers are pro fighters. So they just have a different lifestyle and a different mentality. So being around that and seeing that was really inspiring, to be honest. Like I was like, wow, okay. They're legit.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
And now,
So
hypothetical, a dream match, if you could put a dream match together, could be somebody from an era previous to yours, could be your era, could be, a younger star that's just starting now, whoever it may be. What would your dream match be if you could put it
my
together?
dream
Yeah.
dream match. I always give Charlotte Flair the credit, but I feel like that will actually happen one day. So I'm gonna go with the childhood Haley, and it would be Mickey James. I used to tell everyone in school that I was related to Mickey James because we had the same last name. We're not related, but she claims me now. So I think that would be like a really heartfelt moment that, wrestling as a professional wrestler for me personally, I constantly like fall in and out of love with wrestling. It's like a roller coaster ride, right?
Yeah.
The key is to keep going. That's how you be successful. But little things like that, like those full circle moments or things that bring up like childhood memories make me fall in love with wrestling again. And then I'm like, oh, okay, this is why I do this. Like, so that would be great. Mickey James, throw her in here.
You've
She
also
did
appeared
punch me
on,
in the face one time. That's it.
did
That's all
she?
I
What
got.
was that at?
MCW out in Maryland.
Ah,
She had a seminar, and I actually got my face busted open in her seminar the first day. I got kicked in the mouth and had to have 6 stitches in my mouth. So I didn't get to like participate in all the stuff, which I was real salty about. Me and Mickey were like going head to head. Like, I'm not a manager, Mickey. I'm a wrestler, and she wanted me to like manage so I could still be a part of stuff. But she was just looking out for me and my health. But I talked the promoter on. There was a show after the seminar that on the third day, and I had like talked to him into using me. And yeah, we went out there, and she had a spot. She was our special guest referee,
ah.
and I cut a promo on her and told her it wasn't 2005 anymore. It's my time. And she went big up right in my stitches. I told everybody she's the reason I got stitches.
Oh, so you owe her a receipt then.
Exactly.
Let's
Let's
get that
manifest this
together.
real
Come
quick.
on, promoters.
Exactly.
Let's promoters up there in the world. Let's get it together.
Exactly.
So 2024, memories of the Sherry Martel Classic. Anything come to mind?
Oh my, yes, stressful. Stress comes to mind. Yes, I remember the classic. And I say this because it was a great time. I had left Wow. I was in the middle of filming Wow with that. So I had to leave, which David McLean hates, by the way. I had to leave during our tapings and fly out to Texas to do that with Booker. And so I was already stressed about that, but I got there. I did the first match with Mia. It was great. I had a great time. Everything was fine and dandy. I go back to the back. Booker has like two separate locker rooms. One of the gyms has two rings in there, and that's where the other girls who was going to be in my next match were.
Hmm.
So they're in there, kind of like, talking with the agent and whatnot. I go back there. I literally asked them, like, okay, so what's the plan? What's happening, everybody? And then the ref comes back and he's like, your music's playing. And I'm like, mine? The match that we're supposed to have. I literally had to cut a promo and then go back there. I don't know what's about to happen. So I just pick up my jacket and I go running to the freaking entrance. Well, I didn't even put nothing on. I threw it out, threw my jacket down, and then I got in the ring and I asked the ref, I was like, what's the finish?
Oh my gosh, right into
And
it.
then, yeah, we had a decent match. It was three-way, which is harder to control on the fly for me. But yeah, it was fun. And shout out to Dan for dealing with me. That's what I remember from the classic though. I was like, bro, come on, bro. As soon as I went to the back to be like, hey, they were like, your music's playing. I'm like, what? I just ended my match not even 10 minutes ago. But okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Let's go. Yeah, it was fun. It was like a
Right. Adrenaline.
moment. Yeah.
Now, with all the great ladies you've been in the ring with, if you could pick three, what would your three favorite
Mhm.
opponents be thus far?
That I've been in the ring with. Jasmine Allure is one of my favorite people to wrestle. I don't know if it's because we're friends that she thinks that she can hit me harder. She just really brings it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
she's not afraid to get down. I feel like a lot of girls these days are like, oh, I don't want to hear you. Masha Slam Bitch. Everybody can say what they want about her being canceled or whatever. I don't care about any of that. She's great. She's a professional, and I like to work her. She always makes everything look very intense, and the people buy into that. So that's always a good one. And then let's throw my mom in there. My mom's one of my favorite opponents. I know that I can do whatever I want. I can mess up, whatever, and it's just gonna be smooth sailing because I wear the pants in this house. No.
That's awesome.
But yeah, just her.
Yeah.
That's it.
PWI, you were part of the women's 250, top 250 women in pro wrestling multiple times. What was it like to be a part of that? It's pretty cool. Sometimes people aspire just for that little notch on the belt, and you got it twice.
They do. They do. And I feel bad. There was Mimi. She had like won like six different titles. And I know I seen her post like, oh, look at all these. This wasn't enough to get recognized by like PWI or whatever. And I was like, man, you can have my spot because they always talk shit about me. They always give me some backhanded ass compliment like, oh, she had problem gaining or winning this at the beginning of the year, but finally got some momentum. And then last year it was like, she's the most controversial wrestler there is. Like, you either hate her, you love her. I'm like, bro, just say good job. I don't know. Or whatever I did for the year, whatever it takes to qualify for the PWI 250, my accolades, whatever you want to call it. Just say that. You telling everybody. I feel like that's always a thing. Like, oh yeah, we didn't really like her, but then, she won us over. I'm like, why do y'all have to say
Right.
that? Just be like, we like her. But yeah. Yeah. And then even with that, I don't know. I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, we live in real life around here. It is cool though. My son thinks it's cool every time he sees me in a magazine or something. Anytime he sees me anywhere, he thinks it's cool. So we always bring those little things back to him.
He's got to be a wrestling fan,
And I
obviously.
want to talk to whoever's. Oh yeah, he's gonna be a huge superstar, I believe. And I want to talk to whoever's in charge of PWI because they always give me an ugly picture too. My mouth's all open, looking crazy.
Oh, come on now. Plenty of photo shoots to choose from. We don't need that.
Yes, all my fans be like, I fixed it for you. I'm like, thank you. But if we go buy this in the store, this is what they'll see. But people always do that. I don't know. I wouldn't want that job, that's for sure. Even the NWA, what are those called? You know what I'm talking about?
I
The
don't.
books.
NWA books.
The like program books, right? And it has like all of our pictures, the roster, and like certain stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so excited to be in the book and have my own page, right? All about me. Same thing with JCW. I was so excited to have my own page, all about me. And of course, they spell my name wrong or put Hollywood. And I'm like, ah! I can't have anything. Yeah, it's always, I would not want that job trying to create and design and do all that stuff. Whatever. No, thank you. I appreciate being in the books. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. How many times have people called you Hollywood in an interview? Has that
Oh
happened?
my gosh. If I had a penny for every time I've been called Hollywood, I would be rich. Right now, I could literally stop wrestling. Yeah, they still do it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not helping out. I have it tatted on my chest, so I guess I'm going to give them some leniency.
how many championships you got to win to prove yourself? Come on.
Right.
So there's potential then. Your son, maybe third generation superstar someday. That'd be awesome to see.
I fully believe that. He is crazy. Just like the last time I just had him out here. We had a show in the arena. I didn't wrestle, but I always go to support, the young babies. And Zayden was playing in the ring. He's like, watch me beat Jeff Hardy. Does a swanton off the second. And I was like, wow, he's crazy. Like,
All right. So
yeah.
Got it down.
He's going to be a superstar, man.
So real quick, let's talk about that MMA aspiration. Do you have any game plans yet? Anything in place to kind of like how you're going to tackle that?
Well, we have all kinds of resources in Vegas that is like the city for fighting all the UFC nonsense. And then me just winning my first power slap fight, knocking a girl out. Everyone was like, come train here, come do this, So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to just get out there and kind of weigh my options. I might do a couple different things and see what I like best and then move forward with that. But I got all the opportunities. It's there, people are there to help. So we'll see.
Awesome.
I might just do it for some training for me. I say that. But like, I'm 26. I don't know if I would want to fight professionally. But then again, I might go and do well. I just know that that's like a life-changing dedication,
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll see. You never know. I'm like, woo. You never know.
Lots
and then wrestling's kind of hard. Like being burnt out on wrestling, this power slap thing was like makes me appreciate wrestling more. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I wish you the best of luck on that. Hopefully something will come out of that. It'd be awesome.
Thanks. Did you see me get knocked out?
I did. I watched both of them. Yeah, I did. I was rooting for you, and I was like, all right, well, that's fine. You're still on the big stage, so it doesn't really matter,
I was just happy I got up. I can't go out that bad. I got up and I was like, damn, you got me.
Right. Can't win them all. Can't win them all.
Yeah.
So fast forward, many years from now, looking back at your career as a whole, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be?
I want to be remembered as always keeping it real. No matter how much people love or hate me, I never changed who I am because I've been number one advice that I get is just change your name, change you. You're not marketable, blah, blah, blah. No one wants a hood rat on the main screen. And I'm like, no, they do. Let me be the bad guy. So I want to be remembered for that. I'm going to be Hollyhood Haley J through and through, which is me. Okay. And yeah, maybe that I was a hardworking. I want people to remember me as being positive though. So like anyone who's encountered me, ever wrestled me or got to work with me, I want them to be like, you know what? She was positive and positive and passionate. There we go. She cared. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I would like.
Awesome. Well, Haley, thank you so much for joining me this week. It's been a pleasure to have you here on the All Axxess podcast.
Yeah. Thank you.
For Hollyhood Haley J, I am Joseph Bruen. This has been the All Axxess Entertainment Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments. We want to hear from you, the fans, how you enjoyed the interview. And we'll see you all next time.